Welcome, God dang it, welcome to the We-On-Loc Nation channel once again. But let me get my shit together. Just want to say first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for the 2,000 subscribership. It's been a long road, but we did it. Now, not wanting to celebrate anything because half of this shit was on negative content alone. because you can't seem to get these hating ass Negroes. You can't keep these hating ass Negroes to say anything. But this is all psychological. This is it's all psychological. It's all drama. It's all hateful content, and you got some broad that's will not stop until this man is either in jail or dead. So unless Ifatunde um, really handles business, and when I say handle business, I'm not talking about school per se. I'm talking about handling business. I'm not talking that gangster shit either. I'm talking about legalizing your way into a lawyer and filing some documents on certain individuals. Should have done this a long time ago. I mean, like, you should have done this way long before. But I digress. Because she is not going to stop coming. But before I get further into that, the only reason why I have these scumbags up on the thumbnail, I'm just having them up on the. I'm gonna have each and every scumbag up on the thumbnail each and every single week. Each and every single week, I'm gonna have a scumbag up, and each and every single week, you will know how many hateful ass Negroes, how many hateful ass Negroes there are. So that's why I say keep them coming. They want this man either in jail or dead. It was like, now the jail part I laugh at. The the death part, wanting this man deleted, like, we're really gonna go that far? I'm like, okay. So this is so I don't pay too much attention to it anymore because I've talked to some really nice people throughout the weeks. Really nice people throughout the weeks, and some of them are supporters, some of them are not. But we talk logic. We talk logic, and we talk with some type of common sense. These people just want to just make fun, make trash content, have this bimbo walking around, keep on telling lies, keep on feeding people, keep on feeding people bullshit. I mean, we have the evidence on you. We have the evidence on you that number one, you were lying from the very beginning. You said you didn't. You said you didn't want to. You were in. You weren't. Your words were you weren't interested. Okay, cool. You weren't interested in the first. You weren't interested in the very beginning, but then you started brown nosing, and you said, "This nigga can ultimately be in my life." Uh, you didn't know about him. He didn't know about you, but you were good enough to open your mouth and say, "Ah." That's what you were good for. And now you get mad. You got big mad. You got big mad that Brother Umar, I ain't gonna even repeat. But needless to say, you open your mouth and you said, "Well, let me wipe off." And he said, "No, you did something to my mom. Get out." So, but ever since then, she's been going on and 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 on. And talking about suing him for what? What you gonna sue him for? Hmm? What you gonna sue him for? Hearsay? Try to put some on that? Nah, that's not very ladylike of you. Ain't nothing like the wrath of a woman scorned, man. Ain't nothing like the wrath of a man who's backed into a corner. But he's been silent up to this point. But ever since he went on with Dr. Baba, this is what they do. This is Dr. Baba, and you snatch Dr. Baba's content. I had some Lionel Richie looking nigga snatch my shit up. Lionel Richie ain't been white since the Commodores. It will always be life in this love. Yeah, I'll play the video. I'll play a couple of clips, and then we ain't gonna be too long. Way too long with it because I gotta handle some real business, like real life business, family business. That's none of your business. Even though I'm close to certain people in the chat, certain people, the rest of you, it's not your business. Get it? None of your business. Like Anissa, none of your business. His mom, none of your business. His family, none of your business. Oh, it's public. This is the excuse I get. It's public. It's public. He keeps putting it down public. He keeps putting it. So bitch, if you gonna jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, you gonna jump off. If 500 niggas jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, you gonna jump off the Brooklyn Bridge with them? In other words, if he puts out content, you're just gonna snatch it up, right? You're gonna snatch it up and you're gonna put it. Okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's out there for the public to see. So why didn't you snatch up Donald Trump's content when he was talking about his daughter in a very inappropriate light? Why didn't you snatch up that content? Why did my daughter do this? Why didn't you snatch up that content? Why didn't you snatch up the Epstein files and do content on that? Y'all know how to dox. Y'all know how to Google. Huh? Y'all know how to Google that shit. Why don't you dox the Epstein files? No, that's too much. Oh, that's too much. Dr. Umar, he's good content. I can't wait for the day. I can't wait for the day. So he goes on Dr. Baba's show. I already did that. Brought up so many receipts, but people say it's an excuse. 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 He has so many excuses. He has so many excuses. Well, take your Lionel Richie ass down there to the school and help his ass out. Get up off the couch with your raggedy looking, not need to get some sleep, having ass, and go ahead and help them up. Help. No, I don't want to say that word. Help him out. Nah. I don't want to get up off the couch because I got a fucking microphone in my hand that merely you pay for with Umar content money. But we want to be positive. We want to be positive. But like I said, thank you for getting me to this point, getting me to 2,000 subscribers. I want to thank y'all for those who are truly sincere, and I want to say fuck you to each and every single one of you who are not sincere. I do this on the weekends. I don't do this on a regular basis like you niggas. What's Umar content today? Oh my god. I mean, you just nutty as a nutty buddy. But speaking of somebody who's nuttier than the nutty buddy, we're gonna take you back. We're gonna take y'all back in time. You feel me? We're gonna take y'all back in time real quick to a personal friend of mine who loved doing content on a certain individual. Who was it? On a certain individual who we have to say his name? Yeah, I just put it up. We'll just sit back and enjoy the ride.
But it's understandable that people need help. And we get that. And when you receive that help that you were looking for, that you so needed because of your inability to provide, when you receive that help, you would think the recipient of the help would be completely humbled by that situation. And we'll be able to look at other people's situation and be sympathetic towards what's happening because you yourself hit rock bottom and needed help. But this limit, the song I played said, "What a man knows is what kind of man. What kind of man who begs for money and needed help looks at Umar Johnson constantly disrespecting, dehumanizing, denigrating, making fun of constantly because he's asking for money for his dream when you was asking for money for your team?" Ladies and gentlemen, there is a difference here, and I will present to you that if you could be prosecuted for jealousy, Lemon would be on trial. No, regardless of how you feel about Dr. Johnson, he was able to raise, according to records, $750,000, purchased the property that cost, according to them, $400,000. And on the other hand, you got a broke nigga who didn't even have first and last month's rent. No.
Really? Well, so we have all that in a nutshell. When we're talking about that, can you remind me? We're talking about the same individual who was begging people to help him move from the West Coast to the East Coast. Oh, we're talking about Lennon Honor. Okay, cool. I didn't know you was talking about it first. I didn't know you were talking about it. I swear.
What kind of man? What kind of man who begs for money and needed help looks at Umar Johnson constantly disrespecting, dehumanizing?
Hey, hey. I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I just want to thank you personally for the support. Um, I'm always gonna support you, sis. You are the greatest. You absolutely make me laugh. I definitely want to say thank you to you. I definitely want to say thank you to Lisa. I want to say thank you to Barbie, um, and the list goes on and on and on. If I don't shout your name, just put up like one of those surprise mojos or whatever. Love each and every single one of you who has supported me throughout the years and has been patient with me throughout the years. I just want to say thank you. Now, let's get back to the bullshit, shall we?
Denigrating, making fun of constantly because he's asking for money for his dream when you was asking for money for your team. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a difference here, and I will present to you that if you could be prosecuted for jealousy, Lemon would be on trial. No, regardless of how you feel about Dr. Johnson, he was able to raise, according to records, $750,000, purchased the property that cost, according to them, $400,000. And on the other hand, you got a broke nigga who didn't even have first and last month's rent. No money for the U-Haul. Asking for money fund his life. It's called GoFundMe, not GoFund My Life. Ladies and gentlemen, he asked for a lot and received what kind kind of man needs that kind of help. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get into that with this next clip. I am going to need you to pay attention to what he is saying. You have to pay close attention because Dr. Johnson is not on trial today. Lemon Honor is on trial today, ladies and gentlemen. And
I just want to thank all my homies from that part of the sector, and oh, I will be making an announcement in the next few minutes about the Umar sector. Gotcha. Got it. Got it. Cool.
out a job. What the fuck was entered? What easy will teach them?
Credit history, and we still need to.
Man, Lemon Honor, we know how you feel about black people, but you're not on trial for that today. We will bring forth the next piece of evidence right now.
Number 13 of the Honor Family's big move. Most of you know that my family and I, we're in the process of trying to move to a better neighborhood. And we put in an application for this one property we really liked, but we were rejected because we couldn't prove adequately, at least for what the owner wanted. We couldn't prove proof of income. And we also don't have a credit history. We've never worked in credit. We are thinking about, and we probably will, we're going to go ahead and get a secure line of credit with my bank. But even still, it's been difficult. It's been very difficult. And there's a property we're going to be looking at on Sunday. We have some reservations about that. We have the money, but we don't have the credit history, and we still need to prove proof of income. So what I was thinking about doing was picking up a job, a part-time job, because I'm already so busy as it is. But
Stop right there. You mean to tell me at this time of this video, while you were staying at the Triggity Trap Bando, you didn't have a job? Did you just say you're thinking about getting a job and then say a part-time job? A part-time? You getting a part-time job? What the? Listen, Speakeasy will teach them, hey. He will teach them. Speakeasy will teach them, hey. He will teach them.
All about the guy who verses down.
Damn. Sorry about that, YouTube. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
Part-time sucker. You going to get a part-time job to try and support a family of 6? You supposed to have the only income coming in the crib because you say you got to stay at home lady, and you want to get a part-time job.
Damn. 6, that's including his wife. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. How often do men, and when I say men, I'm talking about men who handle a business, who are married and got wives, that a man takes care of his wife and his children. You didn't have a job for what, almost a year and a half, but you did some content thinking that you were going to make money. This was way before the Umar content, but you have the instigated goal to ride Umar's nuts for 16 years. Interesting. You talk about his family, but you had a hard time handling your business, but beg to the people about giving you money so you could move from Los Angeles, California to somewhere in Utah. Interesting.
Wow. And then before that, you had the nerve to say to us, to say to in front of the everybody, oh man, you so busy as it is right now. How the fuck are you so busy? What the fuck were you doing? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen in the jury, about my language, but this particular clip right here, this evidence entered into the courtroom is out of control. He said he was already busy enough as it is without a job. What the fuck was the video that he flagged me for? But I want to know why you always flag.
Ooh, when it's flagging people from telling the truth. So Lennon back then was flagging people for telling the truth. Hmm. Shame, shame, shame. But I mean, I would like it. I would like it if you were to confess. Just confess. Confess that you were a loser.
Flagging. Why you always flagging? Why you flagging, bitch? You can't stop the truth from coming out. Fucker. Gal knowing playing Star Wars. Who the fuck was you supposed to be? Obi-Wan Kenobi? Talking dumb shit. Nowhere is somewhere, and somewhere is nowhere, but if you don't go.
Down motherfucker back in the day. Okay, I had my issues. I had to work through those issues.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we got to add another fucking charge. I mean, these charges is just racking up. This is capping, high capping, mail fraud. That's a federal charge. We got to.
It's quite funny and it's quite interesting in itself that you and we're going to do a few minutes of this that you would take your vengeance, your ignorance, your lack of whatever you were going through, and you would charge it to the game, but then direct your attentions to Ifatunde, who you had zero contact with. Zero. Wait, but why would a nigga from Utah have anything to do with a nigga from Philly? Why would you have any type of. That's like people who were fucking with me. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know who you were. I don't know who you are. I've never seen you. I've never spoken with you. I don't even know where you come from. People say he comes from there. I don't know. How would I supposed to know? This is the same thing with him. I don't know. He never. But you start doxing people. That's what you do. You KKC, anti-Afro Spengali. At one point, but she's down on her luck right now. At one point, she used to be the king of doxing. Not only the king of doxing, but the king of tattletelling. I could look at her old tweets right now. She got a book of tweets on Umar. But now everybody's gotten that effect. Everybody's going the effect, including Throat Goat, whatever her name is. They're just doing the exact same thing. It's like have you seen one of those horror movies? These obsessed people that have the voodoo doll and shake the voodoo doll, and all of a sudden the person starts shaking. This is him. How is this Negro gonna look at Umar's behind and literally look at Umar's behind That's just gay.
Motherfucker here fronting. He said, people look at him and see where he is and think he was always like that. Did y'all see the background? That clip came from the backyard bitch fest that we brought him up on charges a while ago. Okay, so he's sitting up there talking this bullshit, and if you paid attention to the background, he was staying at the Triggedy Trap Bandos, the exact place he said he needed y'all help to move from. He's sitting up there telling y'all people look at him and think he always been this way. Now, you always been that way. You always been a fucking bum. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get into the biggest piece of evidence that we have today. We are coming to a close where I will make my closing.
Date July 2nd, and this was the house that we've been living in now for 7.5 years.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I refer you back to the earlier evidence that was added into the shit, and the man they're about to move right now. We gonna have to get into some shit. He said he's been there for 7.5 years. As earlier evidence states, he said he did not have an adequate work history and he did not have credit. So now that we know that you were there for 7.5 years, let's say.
You lived there for 7.5 years, and you got the and when you didn't mow that backyard. Look at the backyard. Look at the yard. Just look at the yard.
Ladies and gentlemen, I refer you back to the earlier evidence that was added into the shit, and the man they're about to move right now. We gonna have to get into some shit. He said he's been there for 7.5 years. As earlier evidence states, he said he did not have an adequate work history and he did not have credit. So now that we know that you were there 7.5 years, let's say 8, you don't have adequate work history. The fuck was you doing? And this question goes to the people who donated him money, knowing that he been there 7.5 years, 8 years. What were you doing during this time? You were 41 years old when you made this video. So the prior years, what were you doing? Why don't you have adequate work history by 41? This is negligence. This is pride. This is laziness. How the hell? Okay, you know what? Now, let's get into some other shit. You was there for 7.5 years. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, pay close attention to the right side of that fence. Since we like to break down what's going on at the FDMG school that Mr. Umar, Dr. Umar, purchased, what's up with the motherfucking right side of that fence? Look like somebody threw a fucking grenade over there. So, here's a tricky question. Mr. Anna, was this place this fucked up when you initially moved here 7.5 years ago? Was it this fucked up? Because if it was, I question, why would you put your family here? The second part of that question, ladies and gentlemen, is did Mr. Honor, fuck this place up in 7 years like that? That's the motherfucking question that I'm asking. It's up to y'all to find him guilty based upon the evidence presented. Now, let's.
Billy, please. Billy Idol, please. Look here, white boy. You've been talking about taking Umar down for years, and he ain't done so yet. So until I see handcuffs, until I see his what they call it, him doing the prep walk, ladies and gentlemen, this is your show starring you. We're doing the prep walk. Until I see that, please shut the fuck up. I mean that in a joking way, because people often keep telling me that I'm a mean-spirited person, which I know I'm not. I just hate bullshit coming from bullshit people from the black community. But yet you'll praise what's her face all day long. Let me Yam yo MDQ. Yam yo MDQ. Yam yo MDQ. What is her name? Michi X. You praise Michi X all day long. That's all she ever did. But I have love for Michi. She's from Detroit. She is from Detroit and she does not play. Love you, sis. Even though you full of shit, I still love you.
Carry on with the rest of this motherfucking. This shit getting bad, man. Let's take it away.
7.5 years, I believe. And this is where
and that backyard is
baby. James was actually born here. Thanks, baby. And this is final walkthrough here. But I just want.
Hold on. People got the nerve to get on E5 for his living conditions, but look at your living conditions.
To show the house to everyone. I know we've talked a lot about the neighborhood and some of the things that this is the notorious house over here. This is a septic tank right here. The owner actually had dug this hole about it's about a 3.
Ho! Hold the fuck up! What the fuck? So now is that a fuck? Wait a minute. We want to talk about Umar Johnson bringing kids into the school for a walkthrough. And you mean to tell me you got a motherfucking septic tank hole in your yard? What the fuck is that? You got a fucking booby trap. You got a goddamn booby trap in your yard. But we talking about Umar putting kids in danger.
Hold up. What is that hole doing? I have never been to a apartment, a house, even a trailer, and I don't do trailer parks. But I've never been anywhere where they had a hole right in the. And you want to talk about Umar's school. You want to talk about Umar's home or his mom's home. But let me ask you a question. What if I told you Umar had his own place? Just riddle me that.
At the school for a walkthrough. The difference is you got a fucking booby trap in your backyard where your kids play. Goddamn booby trap with spikes and shit hanging out the bottom, and you got a damn shelf rack and a piece of board with some damn crime scene tape over the motherfucking hole. Hey, boy, what the? Hey, Lennon, what the fuck do you got going on over this motherfucker? When you got a motherfucking 12-foot hole. What the fuck?
What the fucking lotion in the basket? You a damn fool for this one. I gotta move on. I gotta move on from this. I gotta move on. I gotta move on. Hold on. Oh, there's more?
And
Oh shit.
allow any other man to use. Y'all are disgusting. Looking
Wait, hold on. There's a washer and a dryer outside?
at this place is disgusting. I'm getting disgusted. Pedro's house, the next door neighbor, and this motherfucker got 4, 5 motherfucking Kenmore washing machines outside. So
Well, we all know. Well, listen. Put the fucking lotion in the basket. Oh, that's the hood. That is the hood. Which this nigga, this Negro, this basket case, this weirdo had the nerve to bug and beg people. Now, you get on Umar for bugging. What about this nigga? He just straight up bugging the people. I need to move because we have crackheads throw pipes in our yard. Well, that's what happens when you live in LA. What'd you expect? What you? They're playing the music too loud. What'd you expect? All right, enough of that nonsense. Now we wanna put on our logical pants on here. So this next one, I paid attention to. I really, really, really paid attention to because I understand that some people, when they first, you know, um, I don't want to say get on the gravy train because that's just too. When you arrive on the scene and you meet a person like Umar and you listen to him, some people be like, whatever. And other people like, this is interesting. This is a guy that was like, this is interesting. Let me hear it. Let me actually hear, but you weren't actually hearing anything. You were just listening just to listen, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, I could be wrong. We can talk about it. We can definitely talk about it. Billy, shut up. You ain't got nothing else to say. You ain't got nothing else to say. Your white ass. I don't know what's wrong with white folks. What do white folks have to do with Umar content? Huh? That's what I want to ask Andrew Schultz. What do white folks want to have to do with Umar content? That's crazy. But anyway, I guess it's just one of those weird things, I guess. But anyway, this guy, which he sounded like at the end of the day, he sounded like he's given up. He gave up too early. He gave up too early and often. I would just like for a person just to listen one time or a couple times and just make a decision from there. It's like, do I want to, am I interested or am I not interested? Because even that'll be true to your beliefs. You believe in this guy or you don't. I mean, it's cool. I would be cool with that. But you dragging it on and on and on but and then going spew some hateful rhetoric. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. This to me was more interesting than that other bullshit that I'm used to seeing online. People making memes, people making fun of, that type of eighth grade bullshit. But I mean, this is what it is, fam. But we want to be. I want to be fair on this one. I want to be fair until it's time not to be fair. Values.
That Umar Johnson was supposed to get built, and he's been collecting money for about 20 years now, man. This man been collecting.
20 years. So 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. Almost 11 years. Almost 11 years. How did we get to 20? Just hear me out, people. How did we get to 20? How? How did we get to 20? Man, I didn't know he was collecting. Let me see. Let's go backwards. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So he's been collecting money since 2005? 2005? And he graduated in 97. Either at Mills University or the other school that he was into. Then he was doing some actual work for some university. I forgot what it was. I had to do my research. But again, people, you're collecting money since 2005? I think you would be rich by now.
In school, been begging for money on YouTube, on social media, literally for about 20 years. Umar Johnson. I've been telling people, many people, for a long time that the school wasn't going to happen. By the man's actions, how he's been acting, what he's been doing, I saw it coming a mile away. But in the beginning, I'm going to be honest with you. In the beginning, I was all on board for it. I was on board for the school, man. I thought that a school for young black boys, for those who don't know, Umar Johnson was trying to build a school for young black boys called the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School for young black boys. And in this school, he was going to be teaching about African studies, history from the black perspective, and teaching young boys how to maneuver in America as a black man. So in the beginning, I thought that was very necessary. I looked at our brothers in the streets. I looked at our kids in the streets killing each other. I looked at our kids, constantly going to jail back and forth, making terrible decisions, falling for the same tricks that a lot of older cats fell for, being lied to, misinformation about all kinds of things, religion, politics. A lot of things needed to be told from a black perspective, I felt like. And don't get me wrong, at the time when I wanted that school to happen, I was of a different mindset. I think I've grown a lot since then. I was in what you call the conscious community. I was one of these guys that felt like, you got to be woke. You got to find out the information and tell somebody else the truth because they're lying to us about everything. And a lot of that's still true. They all lie. They have lied to us about a lot of stuff. And a lot of people do need to wake up and understand that there is a deeper history to some of the stuff that they might know, that they think they know. So there's still truth to it, but you have to understand that when you consume a certain amount of information and you see things a certain way, you develop a certain mindset based off of a certain mentality, which is either going to help you or it's going to hurt you move forward as a person in America. And I made a decision a long time ago that I wasn't about to walk around being pissed off at the white man everywhere I go. I knew that every white man didn't do nothing to me. I knew that every white man didn't own slaves. I knew that every white man wasn't on board with that. Some of them were abolitionists. Some of them fought against it. Some of
Little side note: if you were from that conscious community, you would know. And I'm thinking he's from New York. I could be wrong. You often know that those people out there, some of them were actually doing work. Some were actually work and actually contributing. Others were just playing the field, trying to see what they can get out of it. If you knew those people, just saying, if you knew those people, why aren't you calling them out? Hmm? Why aren't you calling those particular? I mean, we already know who they are, but why aren't you calling them out? Because Umar is bigger, a bigger name, a bigger draw. But we got it. But if that's the case, then how come you couldn't start small in order to flush the big rats out? And I'm not calling Umar a rat. I'm simply saying if you particularly had a problem with this particular person, which I can damn near say he is close to. I'll be bold and say he's close to a leader that we need right now. Because can you name one person other than Louis Farrakhan is a leader for the black community? Name one. I'll wait.
them helped Harriet Tubman escaping the Underground Railroad. There's a lot of things that happened and a lot of good people that were white. There's a lot of bad people that are black. And the more I figured that out, I instantly began to realize that, wait a minute, I can't point to one group of people as the enemy. I can't do it because I'm looking at people that look like me that's more of an enemy than what I'm trying to think that they are. So I had to be real with myself. I had to realize that it's not even about skin color so much than it is about somebody's heart. I think Martin Luther King was the first one to say, judge a man by the character of his heart, not the color of his skin. And I had to be real. I had to be real with myself and understand that because I know history, because I know about what happened in Kemet, Kush, Africa, because I know about the slave trade, because I know about all these things that happened or didn't happen, because, you know, a lot of us believe that there were blacks already here in America. Everybody didn't come off a slave ship. But once I know this information, once I know about, my last name and what the Moors are talking about with the birth certificate and America being a corporation and all this stuff, when I know about all the information, I had to come to a point and ask myself, how is that going to help me move forward and be financially free, be happy with my family, happy as a person, and just excel in this country?
See, this is where you effed up at. Your first words were, how can I be financially free? How about just being free? Your soul is the most important entity on this earth. Your soul, your health, your habits, what you do in this body and in this lifetime. Why does finances are fine, finances are great, but your soul comes first. And to look at it in total perspective when it comes to this economy and the economics of it, we were going to lose no matter what, because we've let this thing drag on for so long that not white man particularly, but Asians, the Chinese, have basically paid you in checkers and beat you in each and every single. They've taken 5 steps ahead of you. if you look at this economy, if you look at this economy, if you look at the numbers of where we are today, which is dropped phenomenally. I mean, we own no wealth. Let's just keep it a buck. We have no wealth. We have no industry. We have nothing. And I'm not saying this man was close to getting you to that, but his idea was righteous. Righteous in terms of trying to get one school off the ground is hard enough. His idea was getting black people not in just in America in itself, but people as a whole. I'm talking about people in here in America, in Africa, in Haiti, in Jamaica, in Britain, all these in all of people who have skin color, not skin color, all people who have melanin. I shall never say that word again, skin color. People who have melanin skin, who have, and I'm pausing because I want to say the right word, who have individually thought of themselves or individually have made the decision to find who they are. I mean, you can go to, what is it, Africa? What is it? What is it? Something.com, where you can draw blood, get a DNA test of who your ancestors were. Ancestry.com. You can go to Ancestry, even though I don't truly trust them fully, but that's the first step. You can go to Ancestry.com and you can draw blood and you can go on from there to see who in your family. Like, I mean, I know I have white people in my family. I have Irish, a little bit of Irish, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I got a little bit of Indian. I got a little bit of everything in my family. On my father's side and on my mother's side, I haven't quite figured out what was on my mother's side. I can't even ask my mother because she's passed on. But the fact of the matter is, we need to know who we are. We need to know who we are, because if we want something and the government asks, well, who am I giving reparations to? You're always gonna say black, and they're gonna look at you just fucking stupid because you mentioned the word black. If you look in the word black in the dictionary, there are two types of definitions. Number one, we already know what the definition in Webster's dictionary. We already know what the word black means. In the black dictionary, black meaning pale, which you're going to call yourselves pale people for the rest of your life. You know, do what you will with that. But we need to have an identity of who we are as people. And you just concentrating on one thing or one person and trying to shun him away, it does you no good. Because if he's gone, then who else is going to take up for you? Jesse Jackson? Al Sharpton? Who's going to take up for you, fam?
Or should I start thinking about leaving this country, going back to Africa? And I wasn't doing that. I don't want to go back to Africa. I'm cool right here. My ancestors died right here on this soil. I'm going to stay right here in America. That was my conclusion. So I stopped walking around pissed off at the world, blaming the white man, just to give y'all some context. So I was on board with the school, what I was getting to. And I had a friend one time, man. I had this guy I was real cool with, man. White guy, man. We got real cool. I met him, I was doing my job, and I met him, I was a bus driver. And I met the guy, man, and we got real cool. We had some good conversations and stuff. And I told him my stance on, he asked me about the Umar Johnson School for Young Black Boys.
That's your first red flag, or that's your second red flag. talking to a white man about black business. Why is a white man all up in black people business? That's a violation. That's infiltrate, friend.
And I told him that I'm in agreement with it, and I do think it's a great idea. He asked me a question that I think, it started to let me know that this might not be such a good friendship, or this might not work. Because what he asked me was, he said, "Hey man, let me ask you a question." He said, "How would you feel if there was a school for all white boys?" I looked at him. I said, "Well, to be quite honest with you, man, y'all already had that." I said, "There was already a school for all white boys." I said, "That's why we've been spending the last 50 years or so, or more than that, trying to undo things that's been done because of all the control and power y'all had. So let's not forget about that." And he said, "Okay, well, but do you think that having a division, do you think that's going to be a positive thing that's going to bring us together, or separate us? Do you think telling white kids that they can't attend that school because they're white, do you think that's going to that's going to make y'all the same thing y'all were back in the day, the racist people? That's going to make you different, you better?" So I looked at it and I said, "You know what? I don't think you really if a black person, and this was my position at the time. I still kind of feel like this, but I have learned, I have grown a little bit as well. But I'm speaking on from my position at the time I felt. I say, I don't think you understand the plight of a black man in America. I say, right now, if you look in the black communities, I say, my people, young kids are being gunned down the street left and right. They're in gangs. They're getting all kind of trouble. They're dying early, at an early age. Drugs is running them up. I say, my people, we need help. So if a school,
Hold up, we gotta pause this. We gotta pause this to go to an intermission because we got this dumbass in the chat. I'm gonna read his comments. As people do the right thing, Jesse Jackson has done nothing to us. Jesse Jackson has done nothing to us. So Jesse Jackson wasn't involved in Martin Luther King's murder. Jesse Jackson wasn't involved in Martin Luther King's murder. Murder? Really? Lisa, Hellfire and Brimstone on Mr. Billy, 24 hours. I want you to think about what you just said, bruh, white boy, whoever. I want you to think about what you just said. So he wasn't there that dreadful day when Martin Luther King got shot. Is that bruh? He didn't do nothing to us, nigga. Nigga, what the fuck? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm fucking tripping. Maybe I'm fucking tripping. Hold on. Let me read that again. As a people, as a people. I mean, we shouldn't be playing. We shouldn't be playing around with this. We shouldn't be playing around. You shouldn't even have to put that in the chat. Jesse Jackson didn't do nothing to us. No, no, no. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Whatever you saying, whatever Ali's saying, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. We shouldn't even be playing around with that shit. We shouldn't even be playing around with the simple fact that Jesse Jackson has done nothing. This Mr. Afro America has done nothing for black folks. No, nor Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton is an agent. Jesse Jackson is an agent. Stop playing around with this. Stop playing around with this and stop playing around with me. I'm gonna put you on timeout anyway for even coming into my chat. with that bullshit from earlier. This is crazy. Pete, you're fuck. You're Looney Tunes. You are Looney Tunes. You would bring up Jesse Jackson. You would bring up Jesse Jackson along with some other nonsense in my chat. You might as well bring up Hitler. You might as well bring up Hitler. You might as well just bring up fucking Hitler. Jesse Jackson was not the one primarily, but he was one of the one. Ultimately, he wore the blue tie, and mysteriously, Martin Luther King wore the red tie. Everybody wore blue ties, but Martin Luther King was the only one that wore the red tie. Let's continue this before I get pissed off.
For young black boys is going to help get young black boys off the streets, and because the teachers or the school can relate to these boys more than what they can be related to in a different type of public school, then I'm all for it. I get what you're saying. I told him. I say, but if we're the ones at the bottom, we're the ones need the most help. You should, wouldn't you be in support of of those people getting help? Like, why would you be against it? I get what you're saying. That you're saying that it's taking white boys out the equation and stuff. But you gotta admit the white boys don't need the amount of help. At the same time, y'all have a whole lot of white schools still right now to this day. We only 12% of the population. As black people in America, we are only 12% of the population now. So y'all are like a whole lot of seasons that are just all white or majority white. There's a lot of all white schools right now. But what, even though I do still feel like like we don't have to. All we have to do is build up our community and make it all black area. And that's why my mentality, my thought process was that this is something that's going to be for the who need the help the most. So I was on board, man, in the beginning, but it didn't take me long to realize that this dude was a straight up fucking narcissist, man. This dude is the worst kind of narcissist. He didn't want no help. People try to help this man. People try to talk to him, ask him questions. He get pissed off. Literally was not the man for the job. If there was going to be a school for black boys, I saw it didn't take me long to see that Umar Johnson was not the man for the job. He don't have.
You calling them a narcissist is a stretch. What is he a narcissist about? Does anybody know? Can anybody point to me how Umar Ifatunde can be a narcissist? I'm gonna give it some time because I want this thing to sink in. Like I said, we want to be logical about this. No, I don't. I know what a narcissist is. I just want you to tell me how Umar is a narcissist. Quit trying to be a smartass and just tell me what a narcissist. What? How is he a narcissist? I would like to know because I don't. Is he trying to control women? Is that what that is? Is he trying to control women? I've heard that so many times. Heard that so many times. And that's another thing. A lot of these weak ass dudes out here, these some of them are coons, but for the most part, you got these whining, begging ass dudes out here. Some of them are married who are unhappy. They're just unhappy with the world in general. And when I say unhappy, I say it in this. And like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. When I say this, it's like you're trying to control a woman's behavior. You're trying to control, in a sense, how a woman acts, how a woman dresses, how a woman, what type of job a woman has. You don't want a woman to have a. At one point, you didn't want a woman to have a job, and then the next minute, you want a woman to take care of 80% of the bills. And then there's some other shit. You wanted a woman to not have a. I mean, like, pick a struggle. You want your woman to take care of home. You think you had the bread to have your woman stay home and just cook and clean and do this other shit. That's some narcissistic shit for your ass, to be quite honest with you. That's some narcissistic shit in itself. But I mean, I digress. So again, what does Umar do that makes him a narcissist? I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. You're giving me the definition. I didn't want the definition, Ali. For the last time, I don't want a definition. I already know what a narcissist is. So what is Umar doing? Hey Blaze, I want to know what has Umar done to a specific person or persons a narcissist. I want to know what did he do? Dude, I'm gonna start timing y'all out for real, for real. He's so narcissistic. So what did he do to be a narcissist? Are y'all are some of y'all dumb or some of y'all slow? Or some of y'all dumb or some of y'all slow? What did he do to be a narcissist? Rasa, they go to work. They go to work every day, and the YouTube man they work for a narcissist. Oh, okay. So I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. Maybe the man would tell us in the video. We can't know what definition this. He didn't. I've listened to the video twice already, and he didn't even say what it was. He didn't even say what it was. We'll listen to it again. Listen to it again. I already listened to it twice, but we'll listen to it a third time.
The character, he don't have the patience. He don't have the discipline as a man in general. Again, I mean, anything wrong, you can tell his supporters from day one. Well, I'm gonna say day two because I was in support myself for day one. But I was telling people, once I realized it, I was telling other people, you don't think this school really going to happen, do you? I mean, you don't really think that this man is capable of running a school, do you? Do you see a team around this man? Do you see him reaching out to people, trying to get help? Do you see him making the right moves up to this point that's going to get that school built?
And I would ask this same character right here because he's nothing but a character. That's slight for what I could say. This character, why do you have to have a team around you? If he had the necessary people around him, the black community would do nothing but it would be a fire fest. It would be a marksman. It would be a sideshow for the rest of the world to come on here to do what they're doing right now to Ifatunde. Is the exact same shit. We don't know how to control ourselves. Some of us, not all of us. Well, I want to say most. Most of us can't even control our mouths. Most of us can't even control our thought. Most of us can't even control our feelings. What we feel about so-called Dr. Johnson, how we feel about him, how we process him in sort of a way. Him having a team around him, what does that do? We would, and I'm going to tell you the honest truth, and I want you to listen to me closely. You know where he gets most of his money from? It ain't in America. It's not in America. It's overseas. It's overseas where he's getting his money. Yes, he gets donations from people in America, but he gets most of his from the very beginning. From the very fucking beginning, he gets most of his money overseas. He gotten most of his money overseas because they didn't believe in his vision from the beginning. You had some, but you would think there would be there would have been an overall plethora of black people in the community that would have grasped on this idea tight, and we would have been had the school over 3 years. But no, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. Another thing that he said, he doesn't listen to people. He's listened to Lord Jamal. He's listened to before Lord Jamal, because that was a farce. Before Lord Jamal, he was listening to a lot of people giving him suggestions of what he should do with his own school. Go digital. Go to the internet. Go AI. That's not for kids. That's not for our kids in a mental in the mental and the physical space that we're in, where kids don't go outside, kids don't react with other kids anymore, in especially in this society where we just predicate to a video game every day. They need the physical attention from teachers. Being on AI every day is not a physical. I cannot physically touch you, and I don't mean it in a negative way. Anybody says anything negative about that, I'm kicking you off. But I'm talking about in a physical sense where I can talk to you. I can talk to you. I can look you in the eye. I can interact with you. You can interact with other children, and we can sit in a playground and we can interact with one another. We can interact with each other in the lunchroom. We can interact with each other at recess. I'm talking about those type of things. those type of things that we need, those type of things necessary that we need. You wanted him to start off small. That's not his vision. You want him to start off this way. You want him to start off that way. You can't fuck up a person's vision. Number one, who is Pan African mindset, by the way, and number two is has a vision doing it with non-government funds. See, I bet you this dude's governed. I bet you he is. But then again, I don't even want to put it in that way. I don't even want to put it in that way. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. What's another thing that he said? He doesn't. He's not disciplined. Oh, he's disciplined in most areas. He's disciplined in a lot of areas. In some areas, again, when it comes to business, he needs to grow. When it comes to teaching, when it comes to psychology, he's good at that. He's good. His strength is within that field. Clinical, uh, orthopedic medicine, all those particular things that he is graduated from. That's his strength. That is his go-to. Other things, not so much. See, we want to be disciplined. We want to have everything. We want to be clean cut dressed to the nine, to the ilk, to the ones, to the twosies. We want to be disciplined in everything. But as soon as a white man smacks you upside the head and said, "Go on, boy," it's like, no, don't do nobody do nothing. I've been to the mountaintop. I've been to the boy. He keeps smacking me upside the head. We non-violent, non-violent. So how often you don't have a white man smack you to the point where you're developing brain damage? Is that what that is? You have a white man smack you to the point you have brain. Okay, try that with me.
I don't see it. How can you think he's going to come up with a school? He's not going to happen. He's collecting money, begging for money every day on the internet. Hit your cash app, $. That man, he know that he say that so much that I was hearing that shit in my sleep. Umar Johnson asked for money so much that I was hearing it in my sleep. And the crazy thing is, not so the last situation that just came out, just to get to the point, he comes out with this information about a few weeks ago, and he says that his accounts have been frozen. He said they froze my accounts. I don't have access to none of my money. Asking his supporters for money. He was asking his supporters to send him money via Cash App. He said they froze my accounts, y'all. I don't have access to none of my money. I don't ask y'all for nothing, which is crazy because you always ask for something. He said, I don't ask y'all for nothing, but I need.
In terms of personal usage. He's talking about in terms of personal usage, not for the school.
Need y'all to send Dr. Umar Johnson some money. And he's begging for money on the internet. And I thought to myself, now this man collected over $1 million out of his mouth for this school. And you don't have no access to no money at all? That don't even make sense. He said they froze both of his accounts, his personal account and his business account, the school account. And I don't even understand how that even happened.
Well, you don't have to, because it happened to me. I already told you my story, which is absolutely 100%, 1,000% true. But I was living in Lansing, Michigan at the time, and I was banked with. It doesn't even matter who I was banked with, right? I already told you my story, so it can happen. The thing about it is now is that people advocate this. When you use your card, when you use your debit card and you can't purchase anything, all you had to do was just call your bank and they give you a list of things that you claim that you have to claim that you have purchased. And if they're all, and if you claim yes to all, like one, if you claim one or 10 things that are on that list, you're good. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about them actually freezing your actual account, which does happen. Rarely happens, but does happen. It happened to me. Okay? It happened to me. So yes, it does happen.
Because last time when I get my account froze, I simply called the bank, verify if I made a transaction, if it was me or not. They free my account up like that, and I'm good to go. Now, how did his account get froze for days on days the way he's begging for money? It didn't make sense. And sure enough, not even a week later, he comes up with another video. He says, "Put a note on my door. School said that school is going to pay $40,000 in taxes for this school. We're going to lose the school," is what he says. Now he's trying to blame the white man as usual. He's trying to blame racism as usual. They're only doing this to me because I'm a black man, because we got a black school. They're targeting us. And he's telling the people that support him, let's not let them stop us. Let's stick together. And he's trying to rally up this MLK speech, this bullshit. And this man, the con artist that he is, and the good talker that he is now trying to sit there and bullshit these people again after he's done it for almost 2 decades. He's trying to do it again and tell them while he's about to lose the school that it's the white man doing it to him. That it's the people of Wilmington, the government, the officials that are sabotaging him. That they didn't email him or they didn't send him a letter or something like that. When all this stuff has been being debunked for days now by all kind of folks on the internet. You got a YouTuber by the name of Lenore Honor. Lenore Honor has been on Dr. Umar Johnson's ass from the beginning. And that man has broken down every lie from detail by detail. He's broken it down. So Umar Johnson, man, has just been busted. The school, it looked like it's going to be sold. It's going to be auctioned. He's going to lose the school. And I just continuously ask the people who still stood by this man for all these years, what were you thinking? Why in the hell everybody in their mama was on the internet telling you that the school wasn't going to happen? Everybody in their mama was on the internet telling you that this man wasn't making the right moves. He wasn't doing nothing right. He wasn't getting nobody else involved. He wasn't building a team. He kept making promises, setting dates, never coming through on the date that he said was going to be ready. He's been promising that school was going to be open 5 years ago. What are we talking about, man? This man has been lying for years and years and years, and you had people still supporting this man. A lot of women, I would hate to say it, but I think it's a lot of women, single women, that he was able to sweet talk him with his talk, bullshit him, and had him thinking that he was going to come through.
Okay, I'll let it run for way longer than I wanted to run it. So it's everything is I had to debunk everything. His accounts are unfrozen according to Umar, so it's back to business as usual. He's just doing it in silent. Uh, the second thing, the school is not going to get auctioned off. It's the school is still there. The school still has his name on it. Secondly, or thirdly, it doesn't matter who gives this man money. See, I told you it's YouTube. And for the record, I wouldn't give a fuck if I had one person. If I was just talking to myself, I was talking to myself. I usually, this is, again, this is a hobby for me. And this is YouTube. This You know what YouTube was mainly for? You know what online applications that you, I think a little bit before AOL. Y'all remember AOL? Y'all remember AOL, Black Planet, all those internet, all those applications that you went on and you reacted with other people, and then you have MySpace, and then I think it's I don't know, I have to look, but you had all these places that you can go to, right? And you can interact with these people, right? And finally, you end up showing your face, and you send all these pictures, and then you have Facebook, and then Facebook is famous and still famous to this very day. Now you got IG, and you got Rage Quit or whatever. You got all these apps. You know what they were originally for? They were specifically for men who were unhappy, men who feel that they were attacked, and they didn't get no respect. And we're sadly to say this was black men. I just made up that. I just made it up. Because I don't go on any other apps. So I have IG and I have Facebook, and I don't go. I mean, you got TikTok. I have an account on TikTok. I don't use it because it's stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb. The one thing I will give credit for, if Donald Trump were to sign an executive order to get rid of TikTok, I'll be all for it. I said, I'll help you out. Here, I'll sign my name along with yours. Here you go. People want to vent every day. You know what we used to do back in the day? We used to have church meetings back in the day for venting. Okay? But it was mostly serving the Lord. But you had people who would vent, right? Some days about certain things. We have community, we have church meetings, community meetings. I mean, we have cookouts with your grandmama meeting, your mama meeting, everybody meeting. We don't have those anymore. Those are obsolete because we got Negroes on here trying to control. Wait, you mentioned the word narcissist. Trying to be narcissists on here. But then again, red pill don't consider themselves narcissists. Certain people in the manosphere community don't consider themselves narcissists. Oops. I. So then, I still don't. I don't see how, or I don't still see how Umar is a narcissist. But then again, you got some women out here who think he's a narcissist, and he's not looking directly at your direction for a reason. Mm. I guess because he wanted two wives. I guess, and you weren't being picked, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I don't know.
And we told your ass, man. We told y'all a long time ago that Umar was not going to come through with that school. That school was never going to happen. We've been saying it. I've been in every comment section on every video saying, y'all, a lot of y'all got there in mind.
And that will be your opinion. But yet, you have, again, the more you talk, the more I can feed off your energy. You are a very hateful, evil person. And I said that. A very hateful, just like all these other individuals out here. Spreading gossip along the YouTube sphere. Just spreading gossip. You're not making your situation any better. And I often would say to them, it's like, have you been up to the school? Have you donated your time? Have you donated your money? And most likely people would say no. Or you get some of these people would say, yeah, I donated my money. I gave up $2,500. Do you have a receipt? Well, shh. We don't want to hear it. We do not want to hear it. There are some hateful individuals. I mean, just so hateful. And I would love for you to hate. Just keep on hating, brother. Meanwhile, can you please hit the like button? Hit the like button, or don't hit the or hit the thumb down. It doesn't matter to me. Just hit my cash app. Hit my cash app for $1, $2, $3. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much at all. But here's the thing. There are a lot of people who are doing Umar content for the exact same reason that this man is doing content. Although he's not doing it in a way that's so jokeyly all the time. He's expressing his opinion and he has a right to do so. But later on he gets a little slick in the he whatever. I'll even tell you what he's gonna say. He's gonna mention the what was it, the $500. If you give me $500, talking to women, if you give me $500, which he did like a year ago, if you give me $500, right, I'll take you out on a date. Let me ask you a question. If you're if you're a female, right, and I'm sure there's some females in this chat, would you go ahead and fund this man $500 of your hard-earned money? Forget about the family money. I don't give a that is irrelevant. Irrelevant. I'm talking about your money. Would you give out $500 to go out on a date with Umar? And it's really not a date, it's a conversation. Hell, he might pick you to become his one. But he's talking about single people. He ain't talking about married people. He's talking about single people. Why would a married woman, think about it. Think, it ain't illegal yet. Why would a married woman give this man $500 just to go out on a date? Does that make any sense? Why? Why would a married woman give a man who is not married himself, for obvious reasons I'm not going to get into it, but why would and want two wives, by the way, why would you even fathom giving this man money? Why would you do that? Then there are those who are single who, I would say this, you don't have to. You don't have to. But there are those who would. There are those who will. But why would you get on them? That's their choice. So we want to get on everybody's business. We want to get in everybody's business. Ali, I'm gonna get in your business. Ray, I'm gonna get in your business. Lisa, I already know your business. We gonna get in everybody's business. I'll tell you my business. we gonna get in everybody's family business. We gonna get into the good side, the bad side, the dark side, the ugly side, the evil side. We just gonna get in everybody's business on the internet. And you wonder why the white man is winning. A white man can tell you Donald Trump has told everybody his intimate business. But guess what? You know the difference between Donald Trump and I'll just put me in the ring. You know the difference between Donald Trump and I? Donald Trump is rich and I'm not. Donald Trump is rich, and I'm not. I'm gonna say it again. Donald Trump is rich. He has money. He has resources, allies, and enemies. I have none of those things. He has a family. I have a family. We're not rich. He is. We don't have the power, the wealth, or the resources, or the say to tell anybody what they should do with their lives, much less with a school that you ain't giving not near dime to. Nigga, please.
Personally, I've been doing it. So I know I've been telling people for years that this school wasn't going to happen. And sure enough, it didn't happen. So Umar Johnson, man, that dude right there is just, he's a piece of work. The last thing that he did actually was he came out with a video. In the video, he to his followers, he says that if you give me $500, I'm gonna let you take me out to eat.
How do we get that backwards? I'll let him tell it in his own version, even though it's wrong. I'll let him tell it in his own version.
Oh my God, bro. He told these women, he put these women, he said, if you give me $500, I'm gonna let you take me out to eat. Bro. Or either I'm taking you out to eat or something like that. But if I give you $500 that's for the school, and then we're gonna go out to eat with the same $500, how much gonna be left over from dinner? Because the dinner.
Really? Is there a Umar video that people like to pick on the negative portion of it? Can people actually find a video and let me ask you, better yet, let me ask you this. If I could find 5 positive videos on Umar, whether they're lectures or whatever, can I get up to 50? Can I get 50 people in the chat? Can 50 people support? Can you find 50 people to support that? Can you find 40 to support that? Can you find 30 who will support that? Can you find 20 who will support that? You get the gist of it, what I'm saying. Can you find it? I'm going to ask the chat right now. If I can find 5 positive videos, put a 1 in the chat if you will support it. Put a 2 in the chat if you won't. He doesn't need the internet. But I bet you if he came out with his own podcast, if he came out with his own shit, because he doesn't have it. He doesn't have a YouTube page. If he came out with his own YouTube page, I guarantee you he would support. He would definitely support. And Ali, you have a hatred for that man anyway. So what does it matter? What does it matter regarding to what? Positive in what regard? Uh, doing things for his community. Setting good examples for or rather yet his teleconferences that he does every Tuesday. He's been doing this teleconference for the free, by the way. He's been doing teleconferences for what, 20 some years. Can we get some likes on that? Can we get Can we get some feedback on that? You forgot the E, by the way. But can we get some feedback? Can we get 10? Can we get 20? Can we get 30? So if I go on right now, and if I find anything positive that Dr. Umar has done, can we get some likes? Can we get something? I would like to know more about these topics. Okay, what it is parents call in if they have issues with their children. Parents will call in and they would talk to Umar to give some type of advice regarding their children and what they should do, etc., etc. And all of it is free. All of it is free. And he's been doing it for quite some time now. His lectures, free. So when you're saying he's stealing money for the community, if I really wanted to steal money, you know what I would have done? I'd have charged everything. Teleconferences, lectures, not just the books, the time I'm on stage, the time I'm doing everything I'm charging. Everything I am charging. It's not just, lectures are free of charge and you can sit anywhere you want. Oh, no, 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 no. You got to pay to sit here. That's what I would have done. But no, he cares about black people that much to the point where he would actually speak to you on the phone. It's not just the single mothers. Men have called him also about their children. But we don't want to do videos on that. Lennon is the only person that does it, and he's just so goddamn negative, it's ridiculous. He is so negative at this point. He is just plain evil. Weird. Evil. I want to give a shout out to Philly Phil for doing an absolute positive job. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good freaking work. Now, if you can find something good, I want you to tell me. Does this get any recognition? No, it won't get any recognition because the hate is so real. You got all these people just doing Umar content for the sake and purposes of just doing Umar content in a negative light. It does absolutely nothing. The hatred for this man is just so surreal. It's just so surreal. It's mind-boggling, right? It's mind-boggling. And they hate on this. They hate on me. They hate on her. They used to hate on D-Rail, but he's not doing Umar content anymore. And they still hate on him. They hate on me all day. Just don't wish upon my death, because we're going to have a problem with that. I don't listen. I don't like Lennon Honor. I think Lennon Honor is a scumbag, but I don't wish death upon the man. Like, what the fuck? I could just easily just cut this off, and I could just do like this and just move on with my life. This ain't. I've accomplished 2,000 subscribers. I'm good. I am really, really good. I don't need 36.5 subscribers. I don't need 1 million, because guess what? You got people who are there literally laughing at you or laughing with you. Because when you fall, Who's there to have your back when you're falling? Out of a million, out of a million people, who is there to have your back? Zero. This is small and significant for me. It's comfortable for me because I can tell each and every single one of you your intentions. I know Philly's intentions because she expresses it every single day. And rightfully so. I know Ali's intentions. She hates Umar. Very much so. Billy, same thing. Comes from Lynn Honors camp. I know his intentions. But guess what? I keep them in my small little circle because I know who you are. Lisa, I don't have to explain it. And I won't explain it because we have a particular relationship. And I'm not going to tell her business other than she's going to be walking again. She will be walking again. And it's such a miracle. It is such a miracle. Blaze, Blaze comes from, I used to get people from uh, Jamaica, people from Britain, people from all over the diaspora. I used to get people on here asking me all types of questions, right? People have their intent. People have their comments or whatever, their intentions on Umar. But are they good intentions or are they bad? Most of it is bad because he's not governed. That's the point of it, and the gesture of what I want to say. The man is not governed. He is not governed. The man won't go to a bank and get a loan, just like every black person in America. He won't do what I tell him to do. He won't take my advice. Your vision is not his vision. Your vision is not his vision. Now, when Lennon Honor did the exact same thing, he took the money and ran. Umar is still standing. Umar's still here. The only difference is I put my money in a school and trying to do the best that I can here, but black people don't want to hear excuses. Black people just want results. And this is the psychological and spiritual thing that I'm talking about. We are psychologically damaged because we expect better. I expect better, but you have to pay for it. And what Umar is talking about, what people don't grasp the concept of, is we don't need the government, bruh. We don't need the government. Have we grasped on that? Certain things we can't help. Certain things we can't help. When it comes to the scale of things. When it comes to the scale of it, there's nothing we can do. The only thing we can do is just grab onto the little loophole here and a little loophole there, and we do what we can with it. There's nothing that we can do. You see the hate? You see the hate right there? You see that? That's what I'm talking about right there. We can do this without the government's help. But since we are so hateful of each other, since we are I hate saying this. I hate to say it. But the black community is trash. Black community is trash. If we have this much hatred for each other, if we have this much hatred for our women, if we have this much animosity for our children, why are we doing content for? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Abraham Taribe is doing a fabulous job. People need to grab the concept from him. He ended up kicking the Prince out. He ended up kicking these gay ass people out. He said there will be absolutely no gayness in Burkina Faso. None. French, gone. Bill Gates, bye bye. We can't do that here in America. We can't do that here in America. And he has 3 other brothers who are just as powerful as he is. And he's only what? 34 years of age. Now, again, I'm not saying that Umar is any of those people. As a matter of fact, Umar took a step down from being the Prince of Pan-African. He's not the Prince of Pan-African like he used to be. He gave that to Abraham Taribe. Respectfully. But everybody wants to hold everybody accountable. Hold yourself accountable. You want to hold a woman accountable. Hold yourself accountable. You do not give 2 damns about your community, because if you did, you would not go to the extent of what you're doing right now. You don't trust the soul. I get you, because you've been bamboozled by your own people. I get it. But ask yourself this question. If you were to get the floors done, let's just say you get the floors done, right? And he gets his certificate of occupancy, which I told you is the most hardest thing he can do. And if he does not get this certificate of occupancy, what's stopping people from making more content about this man? What's stopping them? I'm asking, what's stopping them?
It's gonna cost probably about 200. So that 500 turns into 300, and you pay for the dinner yourself. This man think people are stupid, man. No, he literally think people are stupid. He think these women are just straight stupid. And as long as he keep on getting money from it and getting through with it, he gonna keep doing it. As long as there's somebody out there stupid enough to fall for it, he gonna keep doing it. It's sad, man. Johnson is a piece of work, and I tell you, people gonna wake up eventually and see. You know, they're gonna have to, because there's no more school at this point. I don't think it got officially off yet, but I guarantee you, we won't be at it.
That's what I do it for. You know I got motion. Even though
Sorry, an emergency phone call. Yeah. I told you I don't want to be long-winded about this because I got stuff to do. But like I said, I want to thank and appreciate everyone, including my haters, for supporting me for this long. Uh, Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Blaze. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, everyone. Uh, Lisa, I'll contact you in a little bit. Thank you, Barbie. Barbie, you're amazing. You're amazing. Tell your husband you're amazing. Um, I didn't drop the link in the box because my son is sick, and again I have to do fatherly duties. But I want everybody to know that each and every single day that you do Umar content is each and every single day we could be concentrating on what we can do as far as the survival tactics are concerned. Because at this time around, with people losing their jobs and people losing their minds and crime rates go up, I just want to let you know that you are doing a fabulous job. You're doing a fabulous job. Now, uh, usually I wouldn't do this, but I want to give a shout out to Jasmine Crockett for keeping her head above water. I'm gonna dabble along into these politic things. It's quite interesting. I don't want to dive into this gender war bullshit because that's all it is. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit at the end of the day. People are gonna do what they want to do, and people are actually doing the eye test and not being statistic all the time, not uh, taking out the census and looking at the results of the census, which I don't do because the census are bullshit. I get my black ass up and I go outside. And I see outside of the internet, people are doing just fine as far as relationships. Now, you might have a couple here and there that are breaking up. You got a couple of marriages are on the fence, but hey, that's life. That is just life. And your ideologies don't mean shit without financing. It don't mean shit without wealth. It don't mean shit without resources. It don't mean anything. So, but the politics is a little like, maybe I could do something here. Maybe I could spend some of my time with the mayor, even though the mayor ain't gonna do nothing because America doesn't have any money. To be perfectly honest with you, America does not have any money, and thanks to Donald Trump and his bullshit about the tariffs, it's gonna get even worse if they don't appeal this. If these people, I don't know who these people, but if these people don't do something to take the tariffs off the table, America, black society, it's going to get worse. It is going to get hella worse. But we're gonna keep doing Umar content because we ain't got nothing else better to do. We can lose our jobs. And it was like, oh, I gotta find another job. But I can do some Umar content today, see if I can get some money out of it. Grow up, people. Grow up. Ali, you are the biggest hater that there is, but you know what? Love you. Black women are unemployed. Hey, guess what? Blame that on Trump. Blame that on Trump. Here in the state of Nevada, they let go. Let me see. I was how many people are unemployed? Let's just do America. How many people are unemployed in America? Jesus Christ! Wow! Check this. Hey, Lisa, check this out. Ali, check this out. Billy, check this out. Billy, you know how many people are unemployed in the United States? 7.0 million. As of the fourth quarter of 2024, there are approximately 7 million people in America who are unemployed, with an unemployed rate of 4.2%. Jesus. And we ain't even done with the census yet. We're not even done yet. That's crazy. That is really, really crazy. So just keep in mind, here in the state of Nevada, that shit is tremendously high. Black women black women is 7.8%. I believe it. But guess what? Blame Trump. Or we're gonna blame Umar. People, there's plenty of things we could talk about other than Umar. If he's really upsetting you that bad, you know how you get rid of a person that's upsetting you that bad? Don't talk about him. Don't give him that. Don't give him any attention. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. You fucking tell me. I really don't know. I don't. I don't know. I'm not the mayor. I don't know. I know a person in my district. He's a black man. I can't, and he don't even know. Well, I can't say he don't know, but he'll tell you specifically we don't have any tourism. Vegas is a tourist town. Uh, so is New York. So is Miami. There are no tourists no more. All the tourists are gone. They're gone. Most of your tourists come from Canada, eh? But because of this tariff shit, it's terrible. It is terrible. And I want some Taco Bell. I want some Taco Bell. Anybody like Taco Bell? I don't really need Taco Bell. But hey, whatever. I'll work it off tomorrow. I'll work it off in the gym tomorrow. I'll get up. I'll get up around 6 o'clock and I'll just work it off. Whatever. Actually, I'll go at 8 because the kids go. And I'm gonna get my kids dressed and we're going to school. But I gotta do some laundry. You know what real men do. Real men get the kids lunches and stuff. That's for a woman to do. That's for you to do too, fool. What did you? This is the reason why your marriages don't last long. Lisa's been married for damn near 40 years. Wow. How the fuck you get married in a society and you get married for 40 years in a society like this where it's fucking crazy? And you're surviving a 40-year marriage, you are blessed. You are blessed. Anybody who has been married for 20 years is blessed. Anybody who's been 10 years, you got to go. You're on the bronze medal. You got to get some ways to go. You got to have gray hairs. I'm looking at your comments and like I said, let me stop my rumbling and ranting. But I'm gonna be doing this every week. Or every weekend. I'm gonna be doing this every week. I'm just gonna plaster you each and every time I keep hearing your mouth. I'm just gonna plaster your face. I'm just gonna plaster your face on the hate column. I'm just gonna plaster your face each and every time I see you. Each and every time I see you, it's a problem. And I want to thank the supporters. I want to thank all the supporters of Umar. Even though certain people aren't supporters, they understand and they get it, right? Shouts out to Q. Shouts out to there's a plethora of people. But then again, the reason why I'm not celebrating, I want to get this off the screen real quick. The reason why I'm not celebrating my 2,000 subscribership It's because it's off negativity. There's nothing to celebrate about. I do want to thank you though. I do want to thank those people who have been supporting me and have gotten me this far. But as far as celebrating over some negative shit, over some negative condemnation, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. It's worthless. It's bullshit. It's nonsense. Why would I celebrate off of somebody's demise? Why would I celebrate over somebody's death? Why would I, unless it's Hitler? Why would I want to celebrate something like this? If I was doing politics and like, shouts out to Reese Waters. Shouts out to Reese Waters. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. The man is hilarious, but he also gives you that content that makes you think. So shouts out to Reese Waters. Reese Waters, I support you, even though I can't support you fully like that because we're moving and I need to. As a matter of fact, I hate to ask. Y'all. I hate to ask y'all, but I have a $30. How do I say it? I'm trying to raise $30. I'm trying to raise $30 in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm trying to raise $30 in the next couple of weeks. And the reason why I'm trying to raise $30 in the next couple of weeks, because in that process, it could help me and my family out. Now, $30 ain't shit, but if you can somehow, this is the reason, support the Cash App, support the super chat. Actually, I'm sorry, support the super chat. Support the super chat. Support the super chat. I hate doing that. I don't know how Umar does it, but if you can help with that, it'll be gracious. Not asking for much. Just we're trying to raise $30 in the next couple of weeks. If you can do that, cool. If you can give me $1 here, remember, put it in the super chat. If you give me $1 here, $2 there, $5 here, $8 there. Pretty much bing bang boom. We can. I'm good. I'm good, fam. I'm good. If you can do it, cool. If not, I get it. I understand. But last thing before I go, I am not going to be doing this for very long, because what Reese Waters is doing, I want to do, because this man is fucking hilarious and he also knows his shit about politics. You want to know my Cash App? The Cash App is right there in the below the screen, fam. I'll even put it up. But where did fucking dollar sign it? But check this out though. But check this out. But check this out. This is not about me, because I don't do this shit every day. I don't do this shit every day. It's not like I wake up in the morning, Omar. No, I don't do that. No, I got a family to raise. I got a family to raise. Sorry, I'm old school, can't see. That's okay. We got somebody who Ali. You didn't have to do that, but you did. You didn't have to do that, but you did. So should I reduce your hatership to suspected shit? How What is Tariq saying? Suspected? You're not a suspected white supremacist, so I can't use that. I can't use that. I had to give it a name. I definitely had to give it a name. But let's see. This is for you, boo.
That's ISO. Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post the same now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm, yeah. Tell them all to move on, yeah. Fucking my post the same now, they be lost in the sauce, yeah. Took a loss, that's your loss, yeah. Had to get my point across, yeah. Heard them lanes was talking now, and we don't pay that no mind. Didn't need to watch and know that I'll be.
So give a shout out to Ali. I guess you're not a hater anymore. I guess. I was a reckon. But just because you ain't money, we still got our issues. We still got our fucking issues. Anyway, I gotta be getting out of here. Lisa, I'll call you as soon as I get off of here because I had a question to ask you about something personal. But definitely, I will be reaching out to you sometime tomorrow. See y'all soon. Thanks for the support. Peace.